What's up? Pags here at MEI Studio. This week we're going to take a look at two more alternatives to the SM57. Steeped in a rich history that many feel these mics never lived up to, we're going to be talking about the Sennheiser e609 and e906. The early 60s saw Sennheiser releasing all manner of oddly shaped microphones, often with strange mounting configurations, a la the 421 and the MD21, etc. One of those mics was the MD403, a small mic with no body to speak of, just a grill and a small mounting hole on the bottom of its square base. The mic looked more akin to a cheese grater or electric shaver from the time, and less like a microphone. A non-detachable cable stuck out of the back of the mic, and why manufacturers do this, I'll never know. I mean, thanks for giving me either not enough cable or way too much and no options to change it. But inside this mic was a star, a small dynamic capsule called the 402, and that would be brought forward to subsequent models, the MD407 and then the MD409. The MD409 quickly found its way in front of many guitar cabinets. Its flashy, slim, flat, yet boxy design led to the nickname the Golden Briquette. The mic found favor with acts like Pink Floyd, the Grateful Dead as vocal mics, and countless others as a guitar stage mic. Others found it useful as a low-profile tom mic. Because of the shape and diaphragm position, the mic could be draped by the cable over the cabinet and positioned in front of the speaker with no need for a mic stand, a live sound engineer's dream. The mic, however, wasn't favored by the bean counters over at Sennheiser. The mic was extraordinarily expensive to produce, so to mitigate this, changes were made to the mic's body, and the now revered 402 capsule was carried forward yet again to the MD409U. And there was also a Blackfire version of the mic called the BF509, which was essentially the same mic, all in black with red logo. It was produced for different markets. The body style was changed to more closely resemble what we see in today's offerings from Sennheiser. These changes to the body and overall construction affected the sound of the mic a bit, but not so much to cause any major uproar. That would be saved for the next iteration of the mic when marketing found the 409U now too expensive as well, and decided to completely cheap out and produce the E or Evolution line of mics. The original E609 was met with much critical disdain. The major complaint was the drastic tone change from the previous version to the new. It wasn't long after that Sennheiser updated this mic to the E609 Silver in order to try and better match its predecessor's iconic tonal characteristics. I've yet to meet anyone that had used the original mics that have anything good to say about the E lineup when compared to the MD versions. I'm usually of the mindset that a different mic equals different sound, but the problem was more that Sennheiser at the time was trying to say that the mic was comparable to the 409 when clearly, sonically, it wasn't. The capsule had changed, the metal got thinner, the frequency response went from a nice, pleasing scooped sound to a more modern or hyped sound. Good or bad? Well, that was really up to whomever was responsible for using it live or in the studio. Some years later, yet another revision was released in the form of another E-series, this time the e906. At this point, I'm convinced that whomever is responsible for naming microphones over at Sennheiser either has no marketing sense or a terrible sense of humor. At least you can read the model number upside down on them. Today, what remains of modern production mics are the e609 and e906. The 609 currently retails for about $99 US, about the same as a Shure SM57. The 906 comes in at twice the price, or around $199, and features a presence filter switch for the 4K bump the mic has. This switch's intention was to be able to try and emulate different versions of the 400 and 600 series. It has a boost, a flat setting, and a cut setting. Both mics have an impedance of a somewhat high 350 ohms, so ideally we're looking at 1.4K on the pre-side to get the most out of these mics. Notably, previous versions were 200 ohms. The E609S frequency response tops out around 15K, where the 906's raises the bar to about 18K. The 906 is about 3 dB more sensitive than the 609 and neither mic specs give it a max SPL handling. Since they're both designed to be sitting literally against the grill of a speaker cabinet, I would assume that the handling is pretty decent. The 609 is hypercardioid and the 906 is regular cardioid. The construction of the mics are almost identical with the exception of the switch on the 906. The connector stem is metal, as is the mesh, which is firm with little give. The surround is a very sturdy plastic, and there's no transformer in either of these mics. Of note, both of these mics suffer from the same dreaded fate as the Electro Voice RE line of mics with the deteriorating foam issues. One of my 609s is currently leaking black goo out of the grill. Should this happen, Sennheiser offers to replace the mic for a rather steep fee, which I find abhorrent. Rather than just replace the foam, it's into the bin with the old and here's a new mic. But why? At the time of this recording, the service fee to repair one of the 609s is just over $63. The 906 is around $111, plus shipping and tax. We're almost looking at the same price as a new mic for the 609. Maybe that's their way of saying, just don't bother. But challenge accepted and met. Before finishing this video, I decided to take the bad 609 we had and refurbish it. I'm happy to say I was able to clean the mic up and return it to a usable state in very little time with minimal cost. If anyone has one of these mics they want to get cleaned up, it should prove to be pretty useful, and I'm debating whether I should offer new foam surrounds through my website. I have a few products that I've developed that I really should put out there. We're going to focus on guitars for these mics first, and then look at it on percussion, since they're mainly known for that. I'm not going to be doing vocal tests on these mics, as others have done that already, and honestly, for the money, there are way better vocal mics out there. For comparison, the 57 will rear its ugly divoted head basket in our battle today. Let's get to it.
While nothing has beat the Royer 121 on guitars in the studio, for a live gig use at $100, a 57 or the 609, no problem. The 906 at $200, a little more hesitant, but still, yeah, I would do that. The Royer at well over $1,000, nah, that's not coming out on the road with me. Though Royer does make a roadworthy version of the 121. What were your thoughts on this? Does the 906 have any right to sit at twice the price of the 609 or the 57? How did the 609 do against my nemesis, the 57? Have I convinced anyone out there yet to stop using it? My guess is no. I mean, it's a solid mic. I just have this unfounded hatred towards it. Probably because I've broken so many of them over the years. Well, I haven't broken them. The drummers with bad aim and stage crews thinking that they can be tossed across a stage without being caught. Yeah, that. I found the tonal options on the 906 to be subtle, but actually quite nice. I didn't, however, feel that the switch at any position gave the same sonic characteristics of the 609 at all. Two completely different mics to me. Same body, though. If anyone out there has an older 409 that they're looking to part ways with without charging a small fortune, hit me up. I'd love to get one in the collection. The current going rate on an original 409 is bordering on Neumann price territory, and the 409Us and off-brand versions are not too far behind. I want to mention that the older 409s were released under different brand names, much like what AKG did with the D12. Notably Grundig and the more popular Ecolet, which was almost exactly the same mic, but slightly different. Same Sennheiser capsules, though. Those capsules were also included in a bunch of other mics that used to be kind of affordable, and thanks to the internet, the cat's out of the bag on that one, and the price on all of those mics is through the roof. As always, if you've gotten anything from today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're interested in studio mics and other things audio related, hit that notify button so you'll be notified when we put up a new video. If you have any suggestions for a video or any questions regarding this one, again, please use that comment section or send us a message through our website. Love to hear from you. That's it for this time. This is Pags, signing off.